Naranik. My name is Aunty Zeta and I am both from the Wurundjeri and Yorta Yorta tribes. Wominjeka Monash Yemen Kondibik Biladu Nanwa. Welcome to the land of the Wurundjeri people. The meaning of Wurundjeri is taken from two words. Warun meaning manigum tree and Jiri meaning the white grub that lives in the tree, the witchetty grub. I acknowledge the ancestors and elders of today. Our elders were keepers of our culture, our dreaming stories, our language. They were our teachers, our lawmen and women. I acknowledge the Bunurong tribe who we share parts of Melbourne with, and all Aboriginal people across the country. I welcome everyone here today. The Welcome to Country protocol is based on traditional Aboriginal law and practice that has been handed down over many thousands of years. It means that you can come onto our country for ceremony, to settle disputes and to share food source. Everyone knew their tribal boundaries that separated the clans. They were mountains, rivers, rock formations and tree markings. They were like signposts to our people. We have the oldest living culture on earth, and we have a spiritual connection to the land, the waterways, the moon, the sun and the stars. That connection can be heard in our songs and stories and seen in our dance and artwork. We have no great buildings like other cultures. The beauty is in the land itself. That is where our spirit is. We gain our identity through our tribal lands. All Aboriginal people have a totem. My totem is the emu through my mother and the bronze-winged pigeon through my father. That defines who we are in the Aboriginal world. We are connected to people from other clans right across the country through our totems. Totems are passed down through the generations. They are part of our dreaming and our songlines. You cannot just decide to adopt a bird or a creature as your totem. I honour my ancestor Wonga of the Yarra Yarra clan, one of the 5 Wurundjeri clans. He was the head man, senior leader, lawman, songman and Narangeta. He was known to be wise and articulate and a good man. I honour my grandfather, Alexander Briggs of the Yarra Yarra clan, who was born in the 1800s. He lost, along with all our people at that time, their traditional names, land and all cultural ways. As a young man, he was forced to leave Corandurk Aboriginal Reserve near Healesville, outside of Melbourne, due to a government policy that stated that all Aboriginal people of mixed blood were to assimilate into the wider community. Our people were speakers of languages, many languages, trying to live in two worlds, the Aboriginal world and the non-Aboriginal world. They were not seen as citizens back then, but were counted as flora and fauna. The way of learning for our people before first contact were thought of as subhuman by the first settlers, and they didn't have an understanding of those thousands of years of culture entrenched in our people. We had our medicine men and women, our lawmen and women, our senior leaders and our warriors. They were like soldiers. Our people were speakers of 6 or 7 languages. We were the first astronomers, doctors, lawmakers and oral historians, which is relevant to us all today through the dreaming. In my parents' time, doing cultural business, like talking in language, dancing and holding ceremonies was forbidden. That was an era when Aboriginal children were only taught up to year 3. I know this from my mother, who told us over and over again because it affected them so much. Government policies were put in place that police were able to take Aboriginal children from their families, homes, schools, hospitals, without knowledge of their parents. And they were to be trained in domestic duties as servants. The children were to work for white landowners and their families, and were not allowed to see or have contact with their own families again. Nowadays we have a high degree of educated people in our community. There is more opportunity and cultural understanding from the non-Aboriginal communities, instilling hope for the coming generation. In closing, it is my hope that those of you that are listening today will remember our people's journey and true history. Thank you and respect you all. Wominjeka.